Hello friends, and welcome to Life in Envelopes. I am Jennifer Bleecher. This is a totally unscheduled video, a bonus video, because I have some important information to share with you guys. In this video, I'm going to give you an update on the tree situation. I also am going to tell you what happened yesterday. You won't believe what happened yesterday. You won't believe it. So I'm going to tell you about that. And then at the very end of the video, I want to talk about how my thoughts about money have recently changed, and yeah, we'll get into that at the end. So let's start with the tree. So the lady from the city who sent me the initial email, she got back to me yesterday, and I'm going to share this email with you. I'm just going to read it to you and go over it with you because I don't want to say anything wrong. First of all, this lady is coming off, in my opinion, as very kind and helpful as much as she can be. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of help available. I reached out to her and explained my current financial situation, which isn't good, and asked if there were any city resources available to help somebody in my situation to pay for something like this. And this was her response. Hi Jennifer, thank you for the quick response. Sorry for the delay. I wanted to make sure that I had the correct information before responding. Currently, there are no programs to help with the cost of tree removal. If you feel a plan would be good for Ames residents, please reach out to City Council and let them know a program is needed. So first of all, I do think that the city needs to have a program like that. I think it would be really awesome if the city had a program like that. As far as me reaching out to the City Council, I think I should do that. I think that if I'm able to help somebody in the future by helping set up a program, that's something that I should do. So I am going to look into doing that for sure. It's not going to help me right now in my case. I want to explain how our process works. If you are unable to have the tree removed by November 18th, we will process a citation. The citation will cost $50. The court cost will be between $100 and $150. With the citation, the city would request permission from the court to enter the property and remove the tree. So by November 18th, the first cost we're going to have to pay for is the citation plus the court fees. So at least $150 up to $200. Once the tree is removed, an invoice for the removal cost will be sent to you. If the invoice is unpaid after the deadline, we will ask City Council to add the cost to your property taxes. Last year, when the city had to repair sidewalks for citizens, staff asked council if they could add it to their property taxes with an annual interest of 3.63% and a 10-year payback due to the cost of repairs. Staff would ask for a similar plan for tree removal. So this made me hopeful because I know once a cost is added to your taxes, and then if you can't pay your taxes, they can take your property from you if you can't pay your property taxes. So I'm glad to hear that there is something that's like a step in between before they just take our property from us. So that made me feel a lot better, and 3.63% is a pretty good APR, and having 10 years to pay it back is also good. So that made me feel better. Like worst case scenario, if the city has to come and do that, and then they, we have to have it added to our taxes and all that stuff, it sounds like at least there's a possibility for us to pay it off over the next 10 years without them taking our property. So that's good. And then I mentioned in my first email to her that I was thinking about selling my home because I can't afford to get this tree removed. And so she said, if you weren't planning on selling your house, please do not sell the house due to a dead tree complaint. We can work through this. Please let me know if you have any further questions or wish to discuss further. Kind regards, then her name. So I thought that was really nice of her to say, it's a tree. Don't sell your house for a tree. We can figure this out. So that made me feel better. So after I got that, I was thinking about it, and I've had all these people reach out to me and offer to help me remove this tree financially, with financial support. Ask me to buy me a coffee, or asking me just directly, how can I just send you money directly? So I did set up a GoFundMe page for those friends who want to help me take care of this tree problem. And I've had a lot of questions about why isn't David helping pay for this? And I just want you to know he is absolutely going to help me pay for this. I recently borrowed $650 from him, and I paid him back, I think $433, so I still owe him some. And some people, I think that led people to believe that David has money David doesn't have money. When I borrowed that $650 from him, that was his entire savings. And he was able to save up a little bit of money because he had done some work in the spring and summer for an author. He made some, he's an artist. In addition to being a janitor, he's also an artist. He had made a couple of book covers and like some other like promotional art stuff for her books, which was very cool. And that's where the $650 came from. That's why he even had any kind of savings at all to begin with. So what I'm trying to say is David's not a villain in this situation. The only villain part that he played was that I told him years ago that we needed to take care of this, and we disagreed on whether or not it needed to be taken care of. That's the part where he messed up, is he should have supported me in the decision of let's come up with a plan to take care of this back when I first realized it was dying. So, but as far as financial goes and him helping pay for this and me helping pay for this, both of us are going to both of us will put in as much money as we possibly can to help with this. So I just want to make that clear. Like, we're not just saying, hey, we have this problem, will you just take care of it for us? We're also going to do everything we can to put in what we can to take care of it as well. Okay, now, so a few days ago, I started with the stress of the threat, a possibility of losing my house, which totally freaked me out. And then yesterday, my car died. So I actually took a couple of clips during that situation. So let's go to those clips first, and then I'll come back and tell you what happened. Okay, friends, when it rains, it pours. I am in the middle of one of the busiest streets of my city, and my car just died. I have my flashers on. I've already called 911. They're sending the police to help with traffic control. Okay, quick update. We're waiting for the tow truck. I have the police behind me now. You see their flashing lights. They've been helping me out. Thank you, Ames Police Department. They've been very, very nice, very helpful. So we're gonna have the car towed to the dealership that I bought it from. Luckily, I bought it here in town, so that's nice. We're gonna have it towed there, and we'll go from there. I have never been in a situation where I'm driving a car and it dies while I'm driving it. That's never happened in my entire life. Okay, I think they're here. Okay, I'm gonna take my glasses off because the sunlight is like in my face, and I know the glare is really bad. Also, my neighbors are banging on that, so they're having their siding replaced. So sorry for the noise. Okay, so I ended up going to the dealership last night. That the dealership also they do with the auto repairs and all that kind of stuff. They even do my oil changes and everything. So we took the car to the dealership. Or I took the car. The tow truck took me there. So I say it was me and the tow truck driver. Went to the dealership. It was going to be $4,000 to repair my vehicle. $4,000. I currently pay $118 a month as a car payment, and I still had approximately 2 years to get that paid. It was before it was going to be paid off. So I went and talked to my favorite sales guy. I've worked with him he sold me 3 of my past vehicles, and I've been working with this particular company, this Toyota company, for maybe 15 years. I've been buying cars and stuff through them. And so anyways, I guess I want to establish is I don't think I was taken advantage of anyway, and I really do trust this company, and I really do trust this particular salesman. He's an older man, and he's been helping me for a long time, and he's just really, really good at his job. And I feel like he constantly, and anytime I've gone to him for help, he's looking for the absolute best thing that he can get me. So I went to him, I explained the situation, and I explained I don't have $4,000 to pay for this car repair. And in my mind, I'm thinking I have to make it to work on Monday. It is currently Friday, and I just happen to have today off. Thank goodness, because there's stuff I need to take care of today. It was just planned at the beginning of the year. This was going to be a day off. Teachers have to go in today. It's a work day for them, but for people like me, we didn't have to go in. So I had today off, but Monday I have to go to work. So that's just the thing I kept thinking in my head is, how am I gonna make it to work on Monday? We have Uber here in town. This is a kind of a small college town though, and they don't run like Monday morning, early morning hours. They run like Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. Those are like when you can get Ubers around here. It's not like you can just call an Uber anytime and they'll come and pick you up. We do have a bus service, but again, it doesn't run early enough for my neighborhood to take me to my school, so I wouldn't be able to get there on time. So I was feeling like, how am I gonna get to work on Monday? This is what I kept thinking. So I felt like this urgency of getting this problem taken care of. So it's $4,000. I have no way to pay for a $4,000 car repair. I have no savings. All of my credit cards are maxed out, and they don't have a payment plan for car repairs through them. So I said, will you take my broken down car? Will you trade it in, and can we get a different car? And he tried really hard to get as close to that 118 payment as possible. So the first solution he found for me is to rent a Toyota Corolla. It's a Toyota, this is the company I work with. So if we went that route, it would be $250 a month payment. As rent, they don't call it rent, they call it something else. Lease, they call it a lease. I've never leased a car before. I've heard really bad things about leasing cars, like they just take advantage of you at the end of your lease and they charge you a bunch of money for like dings and things on the car. Anyways, I've just heard terrible things about leasing. So I felt really, really uncomfortable with the situation. But he explained to me like there's no current used cars on the lot like that will fit your payment restrictions. Trying to keep your payment low. So we went to the Toyota Corolla and I sat down. I didn't realize it's such a tiny car. So like, I'm not that tall. I'm 5'9". I'm relatively tall for a woman, but not that tall. But I swear you guys, I don't know if I can even show you, but like the steering wheel was literally like below my legs. Like my legs came up over the steering wheel. That's how tight it was for me. So unfortunately, I couldn't get that vehicle, even though the car payment would have only been $250. So the next best thing we found was a bigger vehicle, and the car payment's going to be $350 a month for this lease. It's a 36-month lease, but I can get out of it after 2 years. At 2 years, the 2-year mark, I could be done. I also opted for the gap insurance, so that $350 includes a gap insurance payment. And what that means is if something happens to the vehicle while I'm driving it during this time, and any part of the remaining loan that I owe them, the remaining debt that I owe them, that my insurance isn't covering, the gap insurance covers. I've had this before on several vehicles, and we actually did use it one time, and it was amazing because otherwise we would have been like $10,000 in the hole and like had no car to show for it. This is when David was in his big car accident. So that gap insurance really saved us. So I did opt for that, especially since I'm renting the car. I did go that route. I don't have the car yet because it's literally on a truck coming to the lot. They gave me a loaner to use until my car arrives, and my first payment will be in the month of November. So mid-November, I'll make my first payment on the car. The thing is I can afford that payment if I take the money so I'm making $2,500 approximately every month, and I was gonna, starting next month, I was gonna take that $500 and put it in a savings account so that when I'm off during the summer months, I have that safety net. So what I'm gonna have to do now, and I was already thinking, well, I wanna get a job this summer so I can continue to like aggressively pay off debt. So I was already thinking that, but now it's a must. I absolutely have to have a job this summer. So that's a problem I'm going to continue to contemplate and work on and work towards to get a job for the summer, or start a new job that will start in the summer that I'll be doing all next year. I absolutely love my current job and I would love to stick with it. But if it's a situation of I'm going to have to do something different to make more money, then unfortunately that's the way it's going to be. And that brings me to my point of how my ideas and thoughts about money have changed recently. But before we get to that, I just want to quickly run some numbers with you so you can see how, like, even though this decision is still weighing really heavy on me, I still am not sure if I made the right choice. I'm still not sure if there were any other possible solutions to my problem. Like, I'm still really in that cognitive dissonance of post-cognitive dissonance after making a large purchase. I'm really in the depths of that right now. But I did run some numbers this morning, and it is making more sense to me now why I had to do that. So let me grab a calculator and I'll explain to you. Okay, I didn't have any way to pay for the $4,000 repair. I need my glasses. But let's say theoretically that I did have a way of paying for the $4,000 repair, and I wanted to pay back that $4,000 over the 2-year period where I'm going to be leasing my car. I'll be obligated to be leasing my vehicle. So $4,000 divided by 24 months is $166 per month, plus $118, which is what I was currently paying for my car, is $284. So $350 minus $284. So getting the new vehicle or leasing the new vehicle versus repairing my old vehicle is a difference in cost of $66 a month. So I'm paying $66 a month to be in a vehicle over the next 2 years. It's brand new. I don't really care about that, except for that I know it's most likely not going to break down, and that's really good. It'd be nice to have a reliable vehicle that's not going to break down. Also, during that 2-year plan, they pay for all of the like oil changes and all the maintenance like normally occurs within the first 2 years of owning a vehicle. They cover all of that, so I don't have to pay any of that, which is nice as well. And I don't know if I told you, but what happened was I was driving home from work, and I was driving down this really busy road in our town, and I was coming up to a stoplight, and I was slowing down to come to a stop at the stoplight. And before I got there, before I was able to stop, the car just died. Like, everything just went black, just completely died. And I've never experienced anything like that in my life. I mean, I've been in situations where, like, you know, in the 80s and 90s, so you go out to your vehicle, cold, early, like winter morning, you try to start the vehicle and it doesn't start. I've had that, and I've had to have situations where cars needed to be jumped, the battery needed to be jumped. This wasn't that. This car just died, which is I think why the repair was so expensive. I didn't quite understand it. It was some kind of electrical thing, and that's why it was gonna be so expensive to repair the car. So that's what happened to my car. So like the thought, like even if I did pay that $4,000 and got that car taken care of, it was a 2015, it's 9 years old. It had over 100,000 miles. I think it was like at 120. And for $66 more a month, I could have that security of knowing I have a reliable vehicle that's newer, that's being taken care of by the dealership. Like, I don't know. I know I'm justifying what my decision was, and I still feel sick in my stomach that I have this new car payment that I've got to work into my budget. But I just really don't see any other option for me at this time. And that's how I was feeling last night when I signed all the paperwork. Okay, my camera died, which tells me I've been talking too much. So here's the thing. I want to talk to you really quickly about how my thoughts and ideas about money have recently changed. I always thought, like, if I budgeted hard enough, if I tried hard enough, I could live on a low income. And I think some people can. I mean, I know some people can, and I am living on a low income, but not successfully. I am constantly having problems recently. Big things are happening that I can't take care of. You know, I have so much to tell you, so many thoughts in my head, but what I'm realizing is I need to make more money. I need to have more money in order to be comfortable enough to live the life that I want to live. And I'm not talking about living an extravagant lifestyle. I'm talking about being able to make it to my job, being able to do the necessary repairs for my house to keep my house in shape and the way it's supposed to be. I'm not talking about like the frosting on a cupcake. I'm talking about just the cupcake itself. I don't have enough to cover the cupcake itself, much less the frosting. That's the other thing too, is like there are some little things in life that I would like to do, and I'll tell you exactly what they are and exactly how much they cost. And what I'm trying to say is I want to be able to take Logan to the movies twice a month. I want to be able to go out and have a nice dinner with a friend every once in a while. And those are things I currently have been prioritizing in my life and making sure that I like save money for those things and able to do those things. Also, my mom, Logan's grandma, has been very nice, and she often pays for us to go, like sends us money so that we can go to the movies, which is something she knows that we love to do together. So that's really nice. So that's often how I've been paying for that. But anyways, there are other things I want to be able to do in life. Like I'd like to have a little bit of money for clothes and shoes and Christmas and birthday gifts and just like all the little extra things in life. And I guess my philosophy on money has changed. I can't out budget the world and the reality of how much things cost, and to just not to have an extravagant life, but just to have a simple life where I can buy like a simple Christmas gift for my kids, take Logan to a movie a couple times a month, like things like that. I want to be able to afford those little things. And that's part of the reason why like I'm so looking forward to eventually being able to sell this house and just move into a little 2-bed, 1-bath apartment, because I realized so I was told by a family member recently, like, why would you do that? That's just throwing money away, versus like owning versus renting renting an apartment versus owning a home. I understand that a home is an investment, but the problem is when you own a home and you can't afford the necessary repairs and upkeep of that home, then you're not in a good situation. It doesn't help you in any way. Your investment is not good, and I guess what I'm saying is my definition of budgeting and debt and life and everything is changing and evolving. And I feel like at 47, I'm just really starting to figure things out. Just now starting to get on the right track and do the right things. And it's hard. It's frustrating. But I'm a fighter, and I'm not willing to give up. I'm not ready to give up, and I want to keep going. And I hope that you guys will stick with me on this journey, and I hope that eventually I will be a good role model and be a good example for you guys. And but if not, along the way, you can see me make my mistakes and help. And your advice and your tips have helped me so much, tremendously helped me. And yeah, I feel like, I'm sorry, I have ADHD and this video has been all over the place, but I think I'm just going to end it there for now. We'll continue the journey, but that's just where I am as of today.
Feel away with life in envelopes. Plan your days. Plan your days. Plan your days. Get those stickers placed. Feel away with life in envelopes. Plan your days. Plan your days. Plan your days. Get those stickers placed.